Well, hey, this is Todd from Solid Shell Security hitting you up with another Python programming tutorial. And in this one, I'm going to be talking about operators, which is something I really didn't talk about in the last, I believe it's been 8 videos now. So this is video number 9 for the Python series. The reason why I waited till now to talk about operators is I wanted to spend time getting down the very basic syntax of how to do things. So, operators. These are symbols used to do comparison, testing, and even mathematical functions. The first one we're going to go over is obviously the plus sign, which you guys have seen before. Do 2 plus 3 equals 5. We could also do hello space add world, and we get hello world in text. We can subtract using the little hyphen button on the keyboard. Multiply using the asterisk key. We can divide using the backslash button. So those are the basic mathematical function operators. The next set of operators I'm going to kind of talk about are a little bit more important, especially for if-else statements, while loop, for loop, and I believe they're called conditional operators is the proper term for them. So you guys have already seen where we set variable I equal to 3 as an example. Well, the equal sign is a variable operator. And then we can say if I equals 3, hold on, if I, and this is something else, whenever you're doing like if statements, usually you have to do a double equal sign because that means that it has to be exact. Don't know why they did that in Python. They also do that in other programming languages. I don't exactly know why. I just know that whenever you're doing like if statements and it comes to like if a variable is equal to a value, you have to do a double equal sign. Print 3. And as you can see, we ran if I equals 3, print 3, I was equal to 3. Something else, if I is greater than 3, or if I is greater than 2, print it is greater than. We ran it, it said it is greater than because what we did is we said, okay, if I is greater than 2, print it is greater than. Well, I equals to 3, 3 is greater than 2. To do less than is the exact opposite. If I is less than 5, my bad. If I is less than 5, print it is less than. And of course it printed it is less than. Next thing we have is the do not equal sign. If I does not equal 10, print, my bad, got that mixed up. For the do not equal, you do, they call it like the bang in programming. You'll hear, especially old time programmers, call the bang, which is the explanation point. Like if you heard of arch bang, just as an example, Arch Bang, which is a Linux distribution based on the Arch operating system. You can also see it like that too, both ways. So it's the bang or explanation point equals 10, print it is not equal. And it said it is not equal because I, which is 3, is not equal to 10. Then we have greater than or equal to. We have less than or equal to. And those are just your very basic operators that you need to use. Some other operators we can talk about, they're not really conditional operators, but if we do like I plus plus, this might be easier. While I is less than 10 I plus plus. Huh. Well, I've never used the whole I plus plus in program or in Python. With C plus plus, you have it, and what that means is every time it runs through this little loop, it's going to add 1. Another way you can do this would be while I is less than 10, and I just like to space it out. You don't have to space it out like I do right there. It's just my preference because to me it makes the code a little bit easier to read through. Then we can do I equals I plus 1, print I. We can run through it. So that's an example of what the I plus plus is. I haven't seen anybody use it in Python. I haven't used it in Python, so I wasn't exactly too sure if it existed or not. It probably does. I just probably called it up wrong. But this is another way of doing the I plus plus. This also shows how to use a conditional operator with a loop of some type. This is the while loop. I haven't talked about it yet, and really don't plan to get into too much detail about it. It's just a loop saying that while I is less than 10, do this code. The main difference between the for and the while is if we ran this with the for I is less than 10, I messed that up. Might not be able to do that kind of operation. But the main difference is you saw it with another program I did where I think it was like, it was the video where I talked strictly about the for loop. I had it count from I think 1 to 5, but it stopped at 4. Well, the while loop doesn't. If we implemented this using a for loop, it would have stopped at 9. The while loop stops at 10. It's just a whole lot more that needs to be gotten into. As you program, you'll kind of get the feel of exactly what kind of loops you need, but for the most part, you just need a for loop for most things. Alright, so that is the basic operators. So for those of you guys who have been trying to figure out how to do certain things with programs, such as how to test something is less than or equal to, these are the characters to do it with. And that's it for this video.